check, mic check, mic check 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Can you hear me? Am I coming through loud and clear? Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Miggity 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 mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Random show, random show, random show. Episode number 413, 413, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. What's going on? What's going on, mi chico and mi chicas? What's happening? What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? Thank you for tuning in, people. Appreciate all of you. Apologies for the delay once again, but I was rambling and ranting all over at the fucking Tad show. I didn't get through most of my fucking tabs. Then I realized I had to jump over here. Then I forgot. Nah, joking. Yeah, but we're here anyway. We're here. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Always much appreciated. Always much appreciated. Never ever taken for granted. We're back once again. Day number 9 of our 31-day marathon. Day number 9 of our 31-day marathon. We're here for 31 days trying to get the memberships up on this channel. Trying to get them to 100. No, trying to get to 50, 500, sorry, 500, I think, 500. Yeah, 500. At the moment, we're on about 120 something, I think, members at the moment. So thank you for those of you who have joined. I appreciate every single one of you. If you want to join those special people, if you want to have your name in fucking bold in the fucking stream chat and use certain emojis and all this malarkey, make sure you hit the link in the description, become a member, give the membership, all that good shit, so we can hit our 500 goal target. Okay, cool. If you don't want to do that, of course, like the stream, subscribe. That is all free. Do it down below throughout the duration of the show. Like the stream along the way you're watching the show. If you try and do it later, you'll forget, and then I'll have fucking shitty likes. So help me out. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. All that good shit, yeah? Cool. Let's continue. Let's progress. Enough preamble. Enough blubber. Enough of an intro. Ooh, my finger looked a bit dry there, didn't it? My thumb looked a bit dry there. It's not really dry, but it looks a bit dry there. Huh. Anyway. Big up,
powerful bunch.
Big up NJ.
What's good, African Mirror? How you been, big dog?
Wagwan, NJ. We're good out here, man. We're good. We're hanging on. We're hanging on for dear life, my friend. We're hanging on for dear life. It is now the second half of the year. It's the second half of the year. I've done quite a lot in the first half of the year, but I haven't done enough as I wanted to. So I'm really locking in this second half of the year. I'm really fucking locking in and getting things I need to get done. But I'm really locking in, nose to the grindstone, and getting it. I spent too long on the fucking sidelines, just observing, fucking scratching me little fucking punani, you know, fucking flicking stuff out of my teeth. Now I'm participating. Get me? I'm in the ring. You feel me? I'm in the ring. I'm dodging people. I'm jumping. I'm ducking. You know what I mean? I'm covering my face and shit. You get me? I'm shooting fucking back, you know? I'm in the ring now. I'm taking part. So here's what we're doing. Second half of the year, we're going for it. We're taking part. Wherever you are, wherever you're at, it's not too late. Whatever resolution you made in the start of the year, whatever plan that you had, you still got 6 months left of the year. Don't waste it. Don't let it go by, because it's already been 6 months. Soon the summer will be over. You know, January feels like a long time ago. By this time sooner you wake up, you open your eyes, and it's fucking December. It's fucking Christmas. So whatever you haven't got done in the first half of the year, you still got time in the second half of the year to get it done. Don't delay. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate like I usually have done in the past. Put one foot in front of the other and just let it go. Let it flow. 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 You get me? You get me? Look, as I'm doing now, I'm letting the flow, I'm letting the hate come out so I can stream properly. I'm letting the hate come out so I can stream. I'm letting the hate come out so I can stream. If I hate more, then I stream better. If I stream better, then I hate more. Let's go. Hate and dance. Hate and dance. We got everybody in the stream chat. We got everybody in the stream chat. We got everybody in the stream chat. Cool. Now I gotta stop moving like that, because if I keep moving like that, in clothes of this type of fabric, I'm gonna start smelling like Poetic Flacco. I'm gonna start smelling like Frederick Jalla, you know? Frederick Jalla is my real name. If I keep moving in this type of fabric, I'm gonna start smelling like Frederick Jalla. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Anyway, let's continue. Frederick Jalla is my real name. By the way, big up Point the Shoe. I can't get that out of my head now. Frederick Jella is my real name. Big up point and shoot. Let's continue. Let's continue. Uh-oh. Oopsie doopsie. Someone got cancer-lee. It's one of Brendan's friends. It's actually his North Star. Oopsie whoopsie. Jared Leto accused of sexual misconduct by 9 women. 9. Brendan sure knows how to pick them, innit, huh? Brendan sure knows how to pick them. 9 women's have accused this very handsome, very talented actor, actually. He's probably, in my opinion, I think he's a better actor than he is a fucking musician. But they have accused him 9 of sexual misconduct. 9. Crazy, innit? Crazy. Let's read the article. Let's read the fucking article. So, 9 women have accused Jared Leto of sexual misconduct. The film actor and 30 Seconds from Mars singer allegedly engaged in inappropriate sexual behavior over the years with girls as young as 16. Hold on. You're telling me a guy that wears a shirt with that many buttons undone, with a pearl necklace and lace gloves, is a diddler? No way. No fucking way. Someone that wears lace gloves is a diddler. I could have never guessed. One woman told Airmail that she was 16 in 2006. She walked past Leto's table at a cafe in Los Angeles. Leto allegedly grabbed her arm, struck up a brief conversation with her before getting her phone number. The woman said she called a few days later to invite her to a party. Whoa, he's picking up 16-year-olds in cafes. She declined. I didn't know if he was on drugs or what, the woman told the outlet. It was the weirdest, grossest voice, but for me, it's Jared, you know? He's like, hey, girl, I know you're underage, but you want to do some drugs? Fucking crazy guy. The woman said that Leto could continue calling her, always at 1 or 2 or 3 a.m. By the way, those are standard demon hour.
Powerful bunch.
Pick up Abe Martinez.
They're just trying to keep a white ninja down.
Exactly. Haven't 30 Seconds from Mars got like a really big song about freedom? Like it's a free, is it a free song? Free something. It's in my head. I don't remember quickly, but that comes to mind. Big up Abe Martinez. By the way, anytime you get contacted by somebody, either they're a nocturnal animal or they're on fucking drugs. Anytime you get contacted by somebody consistently at 1, 2 or 3 a.m., they're either a nocturnal animal like I am, all right? I'm a bit of a night owl. I stay up super early and I'm just like on YouTube fucking, stroking it. Or they're on copious amounts of fucking drugs, aka multivitamins. You know they are. No one contacts anybody on a consistent basis, especially a 16-year-old girl, if you're not on some madness. It was the weirdest, grossest voice, but for me it's Jared, The woman said Leto would continue calling her always at 1, 2 or 3 a.m. and would ask sexual questions like, have you ever had a boyfriend? Have you ever sucked a dick? So he knew how old she was. So he can't even lie and say, oh, I didn't know she was 16. This girl is making it seem like he knew because the questions he's asking are sort of pertaining to the fact that she's not sexually experienced, and Jared is kind of getting off on the fact that she's not sexually experienced because she's young and that he wants to kind of be the person to give her that experience. Yucky, yuck, yuck. The model, Laura LaRue. Who's Laura LaRue? There's a model called Laura LaRue. What's she look like? What does Laura LaRue look like? Let's check this out. I know it's a bit gross because they're victims, but I just want to get a visual picture of what we're seeing here. So this is Laura LaRue. This is the girl that Jared Leto tried to hit on, right? When she was 16 as well. Another young girl? What was it say in the article? Oh, she's private. Okay, cool. Makes sense she'd be private. Makes sense. What does she look like anyway? There's images of her on Google. This is what Laura LaRue looks like. This is one of the victims. Laura LaRue. Okay, big up Laura LaRue. What does Laura LaRue say? She says on airmail that she was 16 as well. Another 16-year-old. So 2 16-year-olds. And Jared Leto was 36. She was at a private event. I can't wait. I hope they talk about this on the Fire and the Kid. They're probably going to be scared because this is Brendan's North Star, and Brian's got a very weird, almost pedo-like, opinion when it comes to dating and age gaps. Brian Callen's a bit strange because I think Brian Callen's current wife is like 32 or something, and he's like nearly 60. So Brian's opinion is going to be very weird, but I would love to hear them speak about this on the Fire and the Kid because Brendan loves fucking Jared Leto, and Brian Callen is clearly somebody that, he kind of, he dances around the whole age thing. Allegedly. The model Laura LaRue told Airmail that in 2008, when she was 16, Leto was 36. She was at a private event at someone's Beverly Hills house where Leto was also in attendance, watching her intensely. By the way, isn't Hollywood so perverse? What the fuck is a 16-year-old doing at a fucking party in a Beverly Hills house where 36-year-olds and plus are going to be? How can people, I'm thinking, how can people honestly believe that fucking Jeffrey Epstein killed himself? If this is commonplace, how could you believe Jeffrey Epstein, a guy that probably had a lot of fucking info on a lot of people? No, how can you not believe he got murdered? Sorry, a guy that had probably a lot of dirt on a lot of people would conveniently die or conveniently take himself out with all that much info that he has, leverage that he could use to basically, bargain for his freedom even. How could you believe that to be true when this is commonplace? A 16-year-old is at a fucking private event somewhere. And I don't know about you guys in America, but in the UK, no matter how mature the girl looks, a 16-year-old is a 16-year-old. You know that. I'm sure in America it's the same, but in my experience, no matter how mature, no matter how well endowed they may be, a 16-year-old, we're not talking about 18, I'm talking about 16, that's a particular age. A 16-year-old girl looks like because in my humble experience, from the times that I've been out, and there's been girls that have got into a club and they're underage, have you guys noticed if a girl manages to get past the security with a fake ID and she's underage, when young people are in a room full of older people, they look younger because they're young. So they stick out way more. So I can't believe anyone that says, oh, I didn't know she was 16. I didn't know. No, you knew, motherfucker. There's no way you're talking to a girl in a club or anywhere in that kind of room and you don't know how old she is based on the couple of interactions or the first few seconds of your interaction. There's no way you don't know. You know, but you're a fucking pedo. That's it. You're a fucking bona fide PDF. There's no way you don't know a 16-year-old is a 16-year-old when you're in a party full of adults. It's impossible. I don't believe it. So he was watching her intensely. LaRue said he eventually asked her for a number and they began communicating. She said she eventually did visit Leto's house for the first time in April 2009, the following year when she was 17. I remember him teasing me the whole time I was there, LaRue said. He was flirting with me. He'd lean in close, then pull away. It's like a game. On another visit to his house less than a year later, so she'd come back again when she was 18, LaRue said Leto walked out of the room completely naked. Yo, why is that the textbook move of all diddlers? Please somebody tell me that in the stream chat. Why is that the textbook move of all everything we've read on this stream I've read to you guys has contained somebody coming out of a room naked or with a bathrobe, the massage thing. It's like the classic move of all diddlers and abusers. Bathrobes, give me a massage, walking out accidentally naked and shit. Like, what a weird, in what world does that work? Unless the person's interested in you, when has that ever worked? Walking out of the room naked. You're better off trying to ramp up the interaction, like sitting down with the person, talking and kind of trying to, seduce them that way, as opposed to just coming out stark naked. That's such a man thing to do, isn't it? A man's interpretation of what flirtation or seduction looks like is so brutal, isn't it? You just come out naked. Like 1 minute we're drinking on the table, next minute you say you're going to the bathroom, and then you come out and you're fucking naked. Like, what the fuck's going on? I thought you went for a piss. Now you're coming out fully naked with a full mass boner. Like, god damn it, bro. Take it easy. LaRue said that Leto walked out of the room completely naked. He just walked out, dick out, like it was normal. I thought maybe this was just an adult man. That's what adult men do. A representative of Leto expressly denied the allegation, saying that LaRue later applied to work at Leto's personal assistant. LaRue told Airmail she never applied to work for Leto. By the way, why does that matter anyway? What a weird denial. So you're denying it, but then you're saying, oh, but she wanted to work for us anyway. She applied to be one of these, like a PR, a PA, whatever. Why is that? Why would that matter? Why would that fucking invalidate her claims? What? Another woman who spoke to Airmail said that when she was underage, she began texting with Leto before visiting his house when she was 18. So she said Leto suddenly pulled his penis out and started masturbating. Then he walked over, grabbed my hand and put it on him. He leaned in and said, I want you to spit on it. Wow, it sounds a lot like Crystalia, innit? This is giving me Crystalia vibes. I think Crystalia had the same type of moves. But in full transparency, he kind of looks like a bit of a sex pest, but I didn't think he was into younger girls. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you guys can differ. Maybe, to be fair, I also don't pay attention to 30 Seconds from Mars. I'd imagine, because 30 Seconds from Mars music, it probably attracts a lot of younger girls, isn't it? That kind of like, I don't know what you call that. Is that him? What is that genre of music? Is it screamo? It's not pop punk. What is it? What it kind of attracts a lot of young girls, isn't it? I would imagine he's a sex pest and a bit of a harasser, but I didn't think he was a pedo. I'm not gonna lie, because it seems like he likes the underage ones specifically. He seems to go for the young, because a lot of these girls are 16, 18, 16. I mean, he seems to like those really, really young girls, and he's 36, bro. There's no reason why a 36-year-old should be talking to her. Like, I'm very militant on that sort of shit. I'm not into that whole like, oh, she's legal. No, bro. There are certain ages you shouldn't be talking
Powerful
to.
bunch.
Big up Burt Reynolds.
Check my previous chat.
What? Check it. What do you say? Big up Burt Reynolds. What are you saying? This was like in 2006. Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, go on. Yeah. Big up Burt Reynolds. No lie, in high school, a bunch of us on Warped Tour. Jared Leto flagged down. Very special. Oh no, hold on. No lie, in high school, a bunch of us went to Warped Tour. I'll big up Warped Tour. Jared Leto flagged down my very especially young-looking 15-year-old friend and gave her his number. They text back and forth for years. Whoa, big up Burt Reynolds. Oh my god, that's exactly what happened here. Your friend was just 15. That's exactly the same sort of MO, the same sort of thing. Talking to the person, getting their number, texting back and forth, the same MO. Jesus Christ, Jared Leto is a bona fide hard in the paint fucking pedo, innit? Big up Coiler. Why did they always go to their house and hotel rooms if a celeb just wants to hang with them? 30 seconds. Why do they always? I mean, as in the girls, you mean? Why do they go? You mean? I think they go because they're just fans, isn't it? This is a weird thing to say, but like most sensible people, if you're a sensible person, you know it's not a smart idea to go meet a random dude in his house, right? You know most likely he's on demon time. No dude's just inviting you around for a chat. Doesn't usually happen. Most guys, if they're inviting you around, they want to fuck. So if you're a girl, you probably should be wary of that. But to be fair to these girls, I'm sure it does exist. Interactions people have had with artists where it's completely platonic and super chill. I don't know, you just meet them at a bar somewhere and you just, you hang out. And it's not like that, Like some artists just enjoy having like a gaggle of fucking, a gaggle of fucking groupies around them just for the optics of it. Walking down the street and you got all of these fucking baddies following you, It's kind of just makes you look cool, and you kind of like the social validation you get from it. And obviously they get something from it because they get to hang out with you, but nothing happens. I'm sure that does exist, but again, with great power comes great responsibility. How many dudes, if given the opportunity, are going to be well behaved? Like how many of them are going to well behaved? How many of them I'm not going to take the piss? I'm not going to cross the line. I'm not going to do pedo shit. Last month, the Los Angeles DJ and producer LETO reposted on the Instagram story a 2012 Facebook status where she wrote, You're not really in LA until Jared Leto tries to force himself on you backstage in a kilt and a snow hat. According to Airmail, her Instagram stories continued with Telly's writing, I was assaulted and traumatized by this creep when I was 17. He knew my age and didn't care. What he did was predatory, terrifying, and unacceptable. Who's that? Who's that? Ali Telly's. I've never heard of her. Is she like I'm assuming she's an EDM DJ probably, right? She's American. Let's see who she is. Who's Ali Telly's? Who's Ali Telly's? Oh, this Ali Talese. Ali Talese is a American DJ, producer, model, and fashion designer. Let's check out IG. Whoa, 113 followers. Damn, son. 113,000. Okay, fair play. Big up Ali Talese. So this is a big time DJ. Oh, she's all bless her then. She's all married up and got kids as well. That's nice to see. She's completely moved on from that period. But yeah, fucking hell. This woman was tweeting from what? She was posting on the IG stories from 2012. That fucking, what's his face? What's his blood club? Jared Leto tried a thing. Madness. 30 Seconds from Mars are scheduled to launch a tour in Kazakhstan later this month. Leto is in the cast of Disney's Tron opening this fall. Let's see, man. Let's see if white privilege exists. Let's see if counterculture actually exists. Because if white privilege does still exist, this guy is going to continue touring and he's going to live life. Nothing's going to change. And if counterculture does exist, everyone's going to pretend it's not happening. But I'm curious to see Wagwan. I'm curious to see Wagwan. I'm really curious to see Wagwan. One thing I'm also curious to see, I wonder, right? I wonder if we all owe the legend that is Mr. Timothy Dillon a big apology. Maybe he knew. Maybe my guy Timothy Dillon knew all along, because you guys remember this conversation that Tim Dillon had with fucking Joe Rogan. Maybe Tim Dillon knew what was going on, but Joe Rogan protected Jared Leto's ass, allegedly. Look at this conversation.
McGowan book, Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon. But then this Dave McGowan book, Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon. I lived up there when I was living in LA. I lived up there, and I'm telling you, that is the creepiest vibe of any area that I've ever been to in my life.
It's a weird vibe.
They have that fucking military installation, that Lookout Mountain.
Jared Leto owns that. He lives there now.
Doesn't he have a whole cult?
Shh.
Okay.
Doesn't he have a cult? Shh. Shh. Joe Rogan shushed Tim Dillon when he said, hold on, isn't that guy with a cult? Isn't that creepo guy? Isn't that pedo guy? That PDF guy? One more time. Tim Dillon knew. This is why Tim Dillon's my favorite. This is why Tim Dillon's my favorite. Tim Dillon, Bill Burr, Ref. These are my favorites. Rare guys. Speak their minds. Speak truth to power. No matter who it upsets. Tim Dillon, I don't like him sometimes when he's on Rogan, because I feel like he kind of bootlicks and sucks off Rogan a bit too much. Then he goes back to his podcast and starts talking critically about their appearance and stuff in general. He doesn't really push back on Rogan as much as he would if he was on his own pod or by himself. But I still like that he says these type of things. It's really good to hear.
Weird vibe.
They have that fucking military installation, that Lookout Mountain.
Jared Leto owns that. He lives there now.
Doesn't he have a whole cult?
Shh.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
I'm sure he is. I'm not saying it's bad to have a
They
cult.
tried to investigate his cult.
Sure.
And it turns out it's not really. It's just a bunch of people having fun.
Yeah.
And
There's
there's
nothing
no
wrong with that.
requirements. There's no one asks you to fuck them. There's nothing
No,
happens.
it's a voluntary fuck cult.
It's not even voluntary.
Exactly. Oh yeah, of course, Joe. It's an ethical cult. It's an ethical cult, right? It's like that trend during COVID. People were talking about
Powerful bunch.
Black American.
Told ya, the Rogan Sphere documentary is gonna be wild.
100%. Because Joe Rogan of the past would have spoken about a Jared Leto thing. Rogan of the past would have spoken about this Jared Leto thing. But now,
Powerful bunch.
it's compromised. We got Inja Ranger.
Topi like, George Soros, starstruck emoji,
Exactly.
starstruck emoji, starstruck emoji, Jared Leto, pouting face emoji, pouting face emoji, pouting face emoji.
Exactly. Big up Inja Ranger. Big up. So fucking true.
Voluntary fuck cult. It's
Yeah.
just they get together and dance or something. I don't know what they do.
I
What
lived
do
there for
they do?
3
Oh yeah, of course we need that. Big up Perk Angle. We need that. Elephant Graveyard. Get on it, bro. If you're not on it already, Elephant Graveyard, please start getting the script ready right now, brother. Start getting the script ready right now.
years. I didn't get one text. I had not one. I used to drive by and point at it and go, look, it's the thing.
What do they do? What does Jared Leto's?
It's like a summer camp. They call it like Echelon.
Jared Leto's got a summer camp. What grown man has a summer camp? What grown man who isn't religious has a summer camp that isn't a cult? Tell me.
Yeah.
It's a
Like
summer
your fans
camp.
to go watch the band play close up. Kind
Oh.
of thing.
What the fuck's the problem with that, Tim? How about Tim Dillon Fest?
I have no problem with that.
It's basically Skank Fest.
Just a bunch of people eating shellfish in Long Island being racist. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna start doing a segment. I've just checked my comments now. I'm gonna start doing a segment, I think, on this show of like the mean. It's probably gonna be a bad idea because I'm probably gonna get a lot of really mean comments because it's gonna get highlighted. But I just might do it for the meme of it. Fuck it. I might do like a really mean comment of the week. All right, because I got a comment here that's so fucking. Someone left a comment, right? That's such a like a backhanded compliment, but also a really good diss. It's about both. This person says, "I still can't believe black people in Europe talk like that. I refuse to believe it. They're all acting. There's no way a black guy would willingly use crumpet speak."
Powerful bunch.
Is Lita Rogan's Epstein?
Yeah, definitely. Crumpet speak, you know, be up Black American. Crumpet speak. Okay, thank you, people. Crumpet speak. Anyway, but bless the comments, bless the community. Thank you for all of you. I appreciate the love any way you get it. But continuing on from that, we're going to show you another little tidbit regarding Brendan and Jared Leto's love. You remember when Brendan said this? Big up the Tfatk subreddit. Remember when Brendan said this? Remember when Brendan said this?
Come on, baby. It's show business.
really
it's
is.
no.
Let's get into my mustache. Let's get into a lot of stuff.
Get off my nut.
By the way, do you remember that? Oh, I missed that era. It feels like so long ago now. The Just for Men era. Remember the Just for Men era? It grows in black era. My mustache, my beard grows in black. It grows in really dark, then it gets grey, right? You remember that era? Oh, the Just for Men era? Such a good era.
We just need each other, buddy.
You ready, Chin?
Yeah,
Let's
we
go.
Started, so
We started?
when you said let's get into the mustache, do
Oh,
that?
yeah, no, let's get into my mustache.
Dude, get
You know-
off my
No,
nuts.
no, no,
Listen, I know
it's-
I'm a
it- no, no,
trendsetter.
you're not. It's not.
I know I'm the Jared Leto of podcasting.
No. It is not your mustache.
Get off.
Remember, and they both went for the same look. Look how pedophilic Brian looks. I think Brian looks more like a pedo than fucking Brendan does, allegedly, right? Brian looks more like a PDF than Brendan does, but look at that. Look at how horrible. Look at how sex pesty. Look at how where my hug at. That is the most where my hug at mustache I've ever seen. And also, doesn't Brian almost look like Middle Eastern with that mustache? Doesn't he kind of look like where his dad used to work? He kind of looks Middle Eastern with that mustache, doesn't it? He looks Algerian. He looks Moroccan. You know. He looks Syrian, maybe even. You know, with some type of tint. He looks Syrian. Like he actually looks very Middle Eastern there. But big up fucking Brendan saying he's the Jared Leto of podcasting. Famous words, by the way. Considering the allegations, famous words.
Let's get into my mustache.
Dude, get
You know-
off my nuts.
No.
Listen, I know I'm a trendsetter.
You're not. It's not.
I know I'm the Jared Leto of podcasting.
No. It is not your mustache.
Get off
No.
my nuts,
I have no
bro.
interest in copying you.
You did, though. I give you the idea.
I went
You-
to
subconsciously.
I went to
you
dinner.
went, oh, he looks cool.
I went.
You know what's wild? Brendan copies everybody. Brendan's entire existence is one copy fest. But then he's so quick to call out other people, but he copies everybody from the merch ideas to the haircuts to the fucking garms he wears to the trucks he drives. Everything he does is a copy of somebody else's. But he's quick to call out somebody else when they copy him. Funny, innit? Another Jared Leto suck off pick clip. Another Jared Leto suck off clip. Big up the Fire and the Kids subreddit.
30 seconds to Mars live in Bangladesh. Yeah, I did.
You did.
And that boy can fucking
That's so
sing,
crazy.
man.
How is he 50 with that? How does he look like that?
It's unreal. He looks better than I do.
Take it easy, bro.
What do you mean he looks better than I do? Like it's unreal. You don't look good anyway. Imagine Brendan using himself as a barometer of what looks good and what doesn't look good. But yeah, look at Brendan. These guys, look at them all salivating for Jared Leto. Jared Leto, the known pedo, alleged known pedo. Who would have guessed it? Eh? Is Brendan's North Star the PDF? Some taste in many, hasn't it? Yo, big up Ashley Cummins. Wagwan. Big up Ashley Cummins in the stream chat. Bang your chest, darling. What you saying?
Take it easy.
He looks better than everybody in this room.
Look at his hair and look at his fucking
Look at that
skin.
picture.
So he's been a vegan his whole life?
Dude, he's been a vegan for, he said 20 or 30 years. Because they asked him, like, dude, your skin's ridiculous. He goes, it's all vegan. He goes, and also sleep, and I don't have any vices. He goes, I don't.
Also busting mad loads in 16-year-olds probably, and that's what keeps him young. Busting mad loads in 16-year-olds. Yep, love you too, Ash. Love you too, babes. Bang your fucking chest wherever you're at.
Drink, I don't do drugs. I sleep, and I eat vegan. That's my. He's
And
like,
he also lives this
he's like,
great
that's what I
life.
do. And he's like, and then I also drink blood from hot girls.
I was gonna say.
like, what?
16-year-old girls.
Does what?
I might have
Yeah,
said
that's
that.
a guy.
I made
He
that
doesn't
up.
have
You made
kids
that
or
part
anything,
up.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Those trousers, man. Oh, I hate those trousers so much. I think they're Gucci. Those plaid Gucci. Remember those trousers he used to wear a lot? I fucking hate those fucking trousers. Hate them so much. Big up Josie. Big up Josie. Wagwan Josie. Can we mean comment at each other or mean comments of the week? Each other, of course. It all counts. It all counts, my love. It all fucking counts. Some of you guys are very vicious anyway, so if the tension is off of me and doesn't hurt my feelings, I'm all for it. Okay? Because I know I'm a big lad, but my heart is very fragile. So if the insults could be spread around the room, I'll be okay with that. Okay? Big up Josie. Another one. Brendan getting this is my favorite clip, by the way. This is my favorite clip. Brendan trying to suck off Jared Leto in the company of Chris D'Elia, not without knowing that Chris D'Elia obviously at that time is cancelled and deep down probably felt like he could be the next Jared Leto, right? So he's obviously a bit, there's some insecurities there about Jared Leto, or maybe Jared Leto kind of big time, and whatever's going on, Chris shuts Brendan down so fucking well. It's so fucking funny. Legendary clip. Big up the subreddit once again.
Here we go.
I'm saying that if you grew it out, you'd look terrible.
No, I'd look fucking sweet, dude.
You think you'd look sexy?
I'd look like Jared Leto.
I don't want to talk about Jared Leto, #1, period, and also
Okay.
so early.
But Theo knows him now. I have a direct path to him.
Theo, tell
Love it. Love it. Love it. The eye roll was the best. The fucking eye roll and the moving of the chair. That was so figurative, innit? The moving of the chair. Like, okay, enough, Jared Leto. By the way. Look at that glass, man. That's what I miss. Look at that tumbler. Look at that glass. Look at that glass, bro. Look at how full of whiskey that is. No mixer. That's at like what? That's at probably 10 a.m. in the morning. Maybe just before 12 p.m. He was getting lit. I missed that era. I missed alcoholic era of Brendan. It was so fucking fun. I missed that era so fucking much. And then the last one here, I think, no, there's another one here. Chris and Brian destroy Bappa's love of Jared Leto. Another one where they absolutely tear Brendan apart. Again, vintage clip. Big up the subreddit.
If I had Johnny Depp in here right now, he'd beg different.
You're not Johnny Depp, bro, and you're not Jared Leto.
Let me tell you
You're
something.
too big to
Jared
be those
Leto
guys.
wears those same shoes.
No,
hey,
you're
dude,
a
those
giant-
guys need to get a different wardrobe, period.
I
Don't
agree
care
with you.
who they are.
I agree.
Don't care if you're, I don't care how many awards you won.
I agree.
Don't care how good you are at acting.
Yep.
Don't wear all that goddamn jewelry.
Bring those
Fine.
guys up. Bring up Johnny
Jewelry,
Depp
no.
and Jared Leto.
Bring up Jared Leto. Jewelry, no. I don't fuck with
Scarves?
the
No.
Yo, the energy that Chris had, the vibrancy, the pep in his step, the viscosity of his voice, even. Chris is a whole different character pre-cancellation, isn't it? Maybe he didn't go to prison in the end, like he probably deserved, but he's definitely in a prison of his own mind, because the Chris D'Elia we have now and the Chris D'Elia of this era are completely different people.
You in the tundra? Bye.
Shoes.
No,
hey,
you're
dude,
a
those
giant-
guys need to get a different wardrobe, period.
I
Don't
agree
care
with you.
who they are.
I agree.
Don't care if you're, I don't care how many awards you won.
I agree.
Don't care how good you are at acting.
Yep.
Don't wear all that goddamn jewelry.
Bring those
Bye.
guys up. Bring up Johnny
Jewelry,
Depp and
no.
Jared Leto.
Bring up Jared Leto. Jewelry, no. I don't fuck with
Scarves?
the
No. You in the tundra? Bye.
I agree.
Don't wear a
100%.
scarf when it's breezy out.
Agree. He's a beautiful boy.
Jared Leto's beautiful,
He can
but when he
sing.
dressed up like the Joker, it looked like it was just Tuesday for him. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, no, he's a
When has he ever been that funny again, eh? Maybe it helps because we didn't know he was a pedo back then. But when has he ever been that funny? Allegedly. Pedo, by the way. Don't sue me. Don't sue me. I'm a small YouTuber. I'm a minority. Please, please, please. DEI, DEI.
You're
I'm not giving
him.
it up, but yeah, I respect it, but
You're
nah.
not him.
Oh, no, that's the wrong argument. The argument is don't wear that.
Right.
What's
There's
wrong
no
with
him,
that?
not him.
What the fuck is what's
Of course, Brendan is defending obnoxious hats because Brendan later went on to wear one of the most obnoxious hats we've ever seen, right? Remember, if I just type it in, I bet I'll get up straight away. If I type in Brendan Schwab, soy boy, let's see what I get. No wonder he's defending that fucking horrible hat because Brendan went on to wear one of the worst hats we've ever seen. There we go. Legendary hat era. Legendary hat era. And Brendan was feeling really sexy in these hats for some reason. By the way, look at all these faces he pulls in these pictures. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, look at all these faces. Look at all the hats he's worn. So many hats. So many shitty hats, isn't it? Fucking hell. Soy boy Olympics. But yeah, Brendan went on to wear one of the worst hats we've ever seen. Yeah, see if you Google, sorry, look at that. Look at that. No wonder he's defending that horrendous, rancid hat Jared Leto was wearing because Brendan went on to wear one of the worst hats we've ever fucking seen. What's more annoying anyway? Think about it. What's more annoying? What was more annoying? What was more insufferable? Pause GTRS selfie era of Brendan with the fucking straws in his mouth and the weird fucking poses and pictures, or the era we're in now? What was more obnoxious? What was more annoying? Because that GTRS era, the Porsche GTRS era selfie with the fucking straws in his mouth, oof, that was fucking tough. Those selfies, bro, those selfies make you want to punch the screen. Those selfies want to make you want to make you scream. Actually, scream and punch the screen. That era was tough. Those are fucking tough. Look at that. Look at that. Jesus Christ, man. Horrendous era. Let's go back to the video.
What's wrong with a nice hat? You know, in the 50s,
he's got-
all men wore hats.
He's a beautiful,
even gangsters.
He's a beautiful, delicate
Bring up
man.
Al Capone.
He's a
He
beautiful,
wears hats like
He's a
that.
beautiful, delicate
Talk
man.
shit to Al
You
Capone.
deadlift 600 pounds for reps. You're a bull giant. Bull giant.
That's a good point, by the way. That's a very, very good point. Even though he's sucking off Brendan with the weights he's mentioning, that's actually a good point. Sometimes you're just too wham to be Jared Leto, and that's simply it. Simply it. Sometimes you're just too wham, and you look too much like a fucking mongoloid to ever have your North Star be a fucking twink like Jared Leto.
Giants are not allowed to wear dainty hats.
Why not?
Wrong argument.
Look at Al
Brian.
Capone. What, you gonna make fun of Al Capone?
Well, you're not.
Is Al Capone?
Well,
is Al Capone
He
gay
had a
too?
fat face. He either went one or the other. You have to go
He's
one or
a
the other.
gangster.
You're trying to
Gangsters
be all,
wear
No, you're
hats.
trying to be all metro and artistic and kind of
Look at that.
mysterious.
Look at it. It's
No.
tilted to the side.
he's
you
a-
stupid
You guys are
fucks.
arguing about this all wrong.
So what's the argument, Chris?
Don't wear it, period.
Why?
Exactly.
There's
Bring up
no
Johnny's
this
hat.
guy, that guy. You wear a ball cap or you wear no hat. And maybe you wear a fucking ski hat if it's cold out.
Agree.
Sit.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. And then one last one here. Brendan really tried to claim Jared Leto was DMing him and gets called out immediately. By the way, what happened to Calabasas Fight Club? Where's that gone, by the way? What happened to Calabasas Fight? I guess you can't call it Calabasas Fight Club anymore. Maybe you have to call it Austin Fight Club or Alston Fight Club or Fort Worth Fight Club or Texas Fight Club. Maybe it's different. Who knows? But that was a funny era. That was a funny era.
A few months first
So your
before we
hair
moved
is
here.
better like that. So let's cut it.
No way.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
But we-
no, Jared
but we-
Leto DM'd me, went, dude,
He
keep it going. I went, you got it.
And you thought he meant
dude,
your
because
hair?
he's my
Your hair's
Lord and
samurai
Savior.
right now. It's samurai.
Look at how swollen he is. He looks like Bert. I forgot that this was the peak of the alcoholic period, right? I forgot that Brendan was looking like Bert in the face. That's mini Bert. That's mini fucking Bert. Look how inflamed. Look at how red. Look at how puffy his face looks. That was mini Bert Kreischer, bro. Or not mini, but you know, junior Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer Jr. I wish he would have continued. If Ozempic never came around, Brendan would still be drinking now, and it would be so legendary. You know that. If Ozempic was never invented, Brendan would still be drinking fucking Tiger Thick whiskey to the face, Jameson's to the face. We'd have so much great content. Oh, fucking damn Ozempic.
Samurai right now, it's samurai.
He's DMing you.
No. I'll answer that. No. I'll answer that. No. I'll answer that.
He's my spirit animal. He's my spirit animal, dude.
That
there's like a part of me that really believes
for
that.
you, there couldn't be a worse person to want to be like, right?
Right.
Because you're so different than him. Okay. I'm not saying you're not sexy. I'm not saying you're not cool. I'm not saying you're not anything. But you're so different
Remember
than
I thought
Jared
me and
Leto.
Chris were the same size? That was fun.
Fucking brutal. I think this is around the time when Chris was like still coming to terms with the fact that he was working for Brendan. There was a period where Chris was really snarky, really mean, was clapping back at Brendan, laughing at him, making jokes at his expense. But now he's not so much. Now I think he's, resigned himself to the fact that, he's cancelled, he's done. No more Hollywood, no more Netflix. Brendan Schaub is my fucking paymaster, right? Brendan Schaub is my boss. But there was a time when he was still a bit pissed off about it. Still a little bit rebellious and annoyed and and this is what we got. But big up Jared Leto, I guess. Big up Blood Clot Jared Leto. Big up him. Because he's in good company. Maybe that's the new host for fucking Golden Hour. Maybe Jared Leto fills in the seat for Brendan. He's his North Star anyway. Maybe Jared Leto ends up replacing Brendan on the Golden Hour, because that's where all cancelled comedians go to die, allegedly, or cancelled people in general. Maybe we might see Jared Leto on Tfatk now. He might be sitting in that fucking garage studio talking about some great story. He might share some anecdote, some great fucking story of some celebrity he was with or some tour he went on, and then halfway through his story, the lights go off. That's gonna be so funny to see and hear that. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. Big up Jared Leto. Moving on. Actually, where is it? There you go. Here, it's here, right? Cool. Where is it? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Let's do this then. Podcast Cringe has got a new video. Tom Segura and Mark Norman have lost touch with reality. This is from Podcast Cringe Bites, his second channel. Let's check it out. I haven't seen it just yet, so I'm going to react to it with you guys right now. Tom Segura and Mark Norman have lost touch with reality. Let's fucking go. If you're watching the stream, you like what you see what you like, please like the stream, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the description too. We're trying to hit 500 members by the end of day 31. We're on day 9 right now. So if you want to support, get a membership, gift the membership. Link is down low in the description. Love you. Let's go.
I'm like 20 years into comedy or whatever, and I still read a comment where somebody's like, "Is this supposed to be funny?" And I'll just write, "Yes."
Yes.
Like, well, that's why I posted it. I'm a comedian. It's getting laughs in the room. Like,
yeah,
it's supposed to be funny, but I'm like mad at this person. What's the trick?
I mean, I think it's just like how do you think a person's
hold on. I bet what he's gonna. I love this defense, by the way. I'm gonna stop the clip there, but this defense is probably gonna be just you kind of think of the person as less than yourself. You know, that's what the defense is gonna be. The defense isn't gonna be listen to the argument. Maybe there's some truth to the criticism. Maybe there's some constructive criticism you can pull from the insult, or just ignore it in general. The advice is going to be, imagine that person that's tweeting or commenting at you. They're probably a loser. They probably don't have 17 cars. They probably don't have a Rolex. They probably don't have a fancy studio. That means whatever they have to say about you is irrelevant because they're not rich or famous. I bet he's going to say that.
Life is going, who spends time going, you
right,
suck.
Right.
Do you think it's somebody who has like a lot of shit going on?
Yeah.
And who's doing
I like how they act as if like saying somebody's shit sucks requires you to be unemployed, requires you to be desolate, requires you to be on the brink of fucking downright poverty, living in a third world country. Like, you can't just quickly write on someone's comments, "You suck," while you're in a meeting, whilst you're leading your company, whilst you're at fucking work. No, you can't. you have to be somebody that has infinite amount of time. You're a loser who still happens to have internet access, by the way. You know, like what? Like, how does that make any sense? Like, you put shit out on the internet. Some people are gonna suck your dick and say it's amazing. Some people are gonna say you're overrated in your shit. It's just part and parcel of putting stuff out on social media. It's part and parcel on entering into that fucking social media space.
Doing well.
Good point.
Welcome back to another episode of Comedians Coping with Criticism. This time we've got Tom Segura counseling Mark Normand on how to block out the haters by becoming completely emotionless and learning how to externalize the blame. This episode would have been so much better if Bert was here. First Protect Our Parks replaced Sober October, and now Mark Normand has replaced Bert Kreischer on Two Bears, One Cave. And you know Bert's watching this right now to catch up on what happened while he was away. He skips through all the boring bits called conversation and goes straight to the parts where they're talking about him.
Of course.
That to me was always the mark of lunacy with that guy.
Yeah. And you're like, go see your children. you have never talked about your daughters this way, Bert.
Stick around until the end of this video.
By the way, even Mark, buddy, yo, booze really does it to you, innit? Mark's a slimish kind of dude, I think, personally, right? Even he's starting to look a bit inflamed. You can tell when these comedians are on tour, innit? You can tell when they're in like a good little, when they're in a good flow, when everything's only up and up, they're booked and busy. I think Mark was recently in London, actually. I think he was in London recently. So you can tell when they're doing well because look at how his face is inflamed. Red already, puffiness in the cheeks. When they're enjoying life, you can really tell when they're enjoying.
You have never talked about your daughters this way, Bert.
Stick around until the end of this video, Bert. I've got you covered, buddy. Shitting on you has become mandatory for guests on Two Bears, and we're all here for it. But it was only a couple of weeks ago that Big J Okerson was on the We Might Be Drunk podcast with Mark and Sam.
Big J no longer, by the way, isn't it? Fucking hell, he's not Ozempic, isn't it? Big J is no longer big. Big J is no longer big. He's thin, he's skinny, he's small, J. Fucking hell, Ozempic is doing well for him.
Where he brought up this very channel, saying how he watches it, just like Bert does, to keep up with everything happening in the podcast world. Mark and Sam weren't convinced though. Sam tried to shut it down, even though his producer admitted to his face that he watches my videos, and Mark made the comment that we all don't realize how sensitive comedians are.
You know what's funny when they do that? A lot of comedians do that. They don't like it when other comedians come on their show and admit they watch, like, I don't know, comedy, criticism, whatever, commentary, content, whatever this fucking lane is. And I think they do it in a way of like, they think if they kind of starve the content creator of attention, that you'll stop making videos about them. But what they don't realize is that you're not making these videos for them. You're doing it for another audience that doesn't really like them or likes to laugh at them. But they think you're doing it to get their attention. That's that weird narcissism, that weird fucking ego they all have, where they think all of us want to be them. They think we're all secretly closeted fucking comedians who are too scared to go on stage, who don't have the courage to go to an open mic. So the thing that we do to cope is criticize them. It's like, we could just be regular people who just like pointing and laughing at people who are full of shit. And you happen to be the ones, you know? It's not to do with, oh, everyone here wants to be a comedian. Everyone here wants to be a fucking stand-up. Like, no. it's such a weird cope. Like, don't mention them. Don't acknowledge these fucking channels. Don't give them any airtime. It's like, they don't want your airtime. Like, a lot of these channels, especially the big ones, like Podcast Cringe, Unique, fucking Too Late to Try. These guys, some of these guys get more views than the actual channels that they comment on. So it must mean a lot of people don't even listen, like you guys in stream chat. Unlike myself, because I have to fucking watch this for this fucking stream and stuff, right? It's one of my crosses I have to bear. But a lot of people don't even watch these fucking shows unless they watch them through the lens of a commentary channel. So the whole, oh, don't give them clout, don't talk about them thing is not, it doesn't work, mate. No one wants your clout. I like Dan Soda, or whatever his name, Samaril, sorry, not Dan Soda. I like Samaril in general, but that's a weird way to kind of do things.
So it looks like Mark is starting to suffer from the same fate as his comedy podcasting buddies, who can't seem to cope with even the slightest criticism of their work. And I've always been a fan of Mark Normand. I think he's one of the few Rogan comedians who still understands the idea.
We got James Banks. I think Norman is relatively normal and chill. Just pretends to be friends with these guys. Hope his career could be wrong. No. I agree. He's relatively normal compared to the other guys, but he still has that thing about criticism. He's still very sensitive. Like that time that they brought up fucking Crackamico. Was it Crackamico they brought up during like a Kill Tony or something? He nearly fainted. He nearly had a heart attack when they brought up the song or they went to play it or something. So he's a little bit. He's got some
powerful bunch.
Big up Black American.
Thank you.
No, thank you more. Although he's very funny, big up Black American. Although he's very funny and I like him, he is still very sensitive and thin-skinned about any criticism or pushback from fans or viewers, which is oddly weird because, like I said, like the content game on social is that sometimes you put stuff out, people suck you off. Sometimes they say your stuff is shit. The thing that you have to do is not think you're as good as what they say or as bad as what you say. You just keep putting out the stuff. It's not that deep, really. It's not that deep. But for some reason, comedians are very sensitive to any slight pushback or negativity when it comes to their content. But hey, what can they do?
Of a comedy podcast, his work on Protect Our Parks in trolling Rogan is pretty much unmatched at this point. The sad thing is, though, now that he's made it big through multiple JRE appearances, he's starting to sound just like the rest of them.
You know, we get so busy. You know, you got kids, you got the career, you got a TV show, you're all over the place. So, like, now to hang out with your friends, you almost have to monetize it.
I know.
You have to make it like a podcast just to, like, get some hang time.
That's 100%. Like if I'm home and someone's like, "Hey, let's just hang out," I'm like, "I can't hang out, dude.
I can't hang out.
Yeah, I just got home." Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. My wife's like, "You never come home," and I'm like, "We should do a pod."
Yeah,
that's what you did.
That's what I did. That's right.
Smart.
So you can't hang out with your friends because you just got home from a tour. Isn't that just like working? Just hang out. We all do that. Most of us have full-time jobs or friend or whatever, and we have friends and families. You just make time to hang out with them. To be fair, I think it's just an excuse. I think most comedians have a very weird superiority complex, which is strange because they're court gestures, right? They're essentially clowns, but they have a very inflated sense of self. And they honestly do think that regular people, like Rogan said plenty of times, ad nauseum, regular people just don't cut it. They only want to hang out with comedians. So I think it's just like an excuse that they give to their friends who aren't comedians that, oh, I can't hang out because I just go back from a tour. Like, what do you mean? Like, and? Make the time. That's your friend, isn't it? That's someone you regard as family. Make the time. What the fuck level of excuse is that? Also, you work for yourself. Yes, the tour can be exhausting and taxing in itself, but it's still not harder than a fucking 9 to 5. Let's be real. It's doing something that you fucking enjoy and you're getting paid handsomely for it. Make the time to see your friends. If you don't want to see them, clear. But let's not make excuses.
First, you get to see your wife.
Actually, no joke, that is sometimes like the most time we'll spend together in a week. And you leave and you're like, we got 20 things to do.
It's sad but true.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up Jack Donny Jr. I didn't want to say that, but I do get that feeling. I do get the feeling a lot of Mark Norman's anxiety with criticism is mostly to do with him having, because he has mentioned in the past, I listen to Choose Your Story a lot. He has mentioned in the past about how fucked up he gets when he goes on tour, when he used to start anyway. How blackout drunk he'd get and stuff, and the girls he'd hook up with, and all the fucking weird experiences he'd had, fucking random girls on the road. So if somebody's getting that fucked up on a regular on the road, mistakes happen, you know? Things happen. So most likely there are stories out there, I would imagine, that he doesn't want people to hear about, which is probably why he's so nervous about feedback or commentary from people, because all it takes is one comment, as we saw with Chris D'Elia. All it takes is one bored person at home to start the fucking dominoes, and then you're fucking done.
But at least you can monetize this. Now you're getting paid to hang out with your wife, which you know that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
God damn it.
God damn lady. Did you see?
That's some of the saddest shit I've ever heard come out of Mark's mouth. Imagine not being able to hang out with your buddies unless you're making money. Like, how much fucking money do these guys need? They act as if every minute of their lives has to be accounted for, like they're billing their wives in 6-minute increments like a lawyer. I remember when Whitney Cummings brought this up on Flagrant a couple of years ago and got completely shut down by Andy and the Toy Story boys.
They must have a lot of expenses or really expensive habits, because that's a good point he made. Like, how much money do these motherfuckers need there's not an ad or an opportunity to make money they miss out on. They you know, it's very rarely that they pass on opportunity to fucking shill or grift, whatever it may be out there. So these guys are no strangers to turning down money. They don't do that. They take money from all places. There is never a place they're going to say no to. So I wonder where all of that funds are going to. Like, where is it going? You know what I mean? You make millions on tour already. Some of them are making millions from the podcast, but then they just keep wanting to keep making more and more and more. For what? Like, maybe to drink, maybe the lifestyle in general. Maybe that's a big part of it. If you're flying private from place to place, business class from place to place, maybe it all adds up. But yeah, that's a really good point he made there.
We're in a very high risk profession, and it used to be, I think, the way that we stayed sane was having offline conversations in the, you know, in the green room, in the hallway, and now it's like, save it for the pod. Like, we're monetizing all of our conversations, like, for public consumption, which is great. It's healing a lot of people. People love it. Can I finish before you roll your eyes? Can I finish before you roll your eyes?
That makes so much sense. Think about all the times you've heard Bert tell Tom or Andrew Schultz tell Joe Rogan something on a podcast and they had absolutely no idea about it. I always think to myself, how the fuck don't you know that about one of your best friends? And it's usually something fairly important. It's like they rock up to the studio and literally press record as soon as they get there. I mean, Joe Rogan still hasn't even seen Andrew Schultz's latest comedy special.
My favorite form of entertainment by far is stand-up comedy. Like, straight up, I'm a fanboy of comedians. Andrew Schultz, did you watch his?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
No.
So how do you take infertility, right? And just, it's not really...
You know what's funny about that, thinking about that? I wonder if, like, not watching things is like a form of, like, narcissism and arrogance as well. This idea that no other entertainment apart from my own is worth my time. Especially not for my peers, like, because they all do this. I've not watched it. It's like, bro, how can you not watch it? Like, how you not have time to watch a special when all you have is free time outside of your podcast? You do nothing really. I mean, you don't work a regular job, so you have a lot more free time in the day to do what you fucking want, and you're also in that industry. How do you not have an idea of what the person said or watch a couple of clips? Zero. I wonder if they all don't do it because it kind of shows that you're a really big dog, you know? You don't watch anything because you're just all about you and focusing on what you're doing. So I wonder if that's what it is, or if it's just, you know, redacted shit.
It's a very funny subject, and make it is incredible.
Bro brought his knee pads to JRE and left with Rogan's PIN number, but it just goes to show how fake the world of comedy podcasting is. They all claim to be super tight and hang out all the time, but the reality is they have to justify everything in financial terms.
That's like Rogan and Brendan, isn't it? When Brendan went on Rogan and Brendan didn't know Rogan's kids' names, or the fact that, you know what I mean? He was just completely clueless about his kids, which is weird because they said they're best friends. You know, it's yeah. Big up Chris Mack. Well, Chris Mack. Big up Black American. Money is a resource. It's influence. It's status. It's safety. It's power. Money. Yep. Very, 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 very true. But for me, I just see it. I see it as more so as like I see it more as a resource, as a way to kind of allow you to kind of do more with your time. Because I've always exchanged my time for money. Money for me, or getting to that place where I'm comfortable, is more so the ability to then start doing more of the things I want to do during the day, and not have to do the things I don't want to do in order to have the money to do the things I want to do. You know what I mean? That's where the money comes from me. It's less about having fancy stuff and living in a gold house and driving a fucking Lambo. Not interested in that in the slightest. Don't care about jewelry, don't care about watches, all that sort of shit. It's more so the lifestyle, being able to be like, okay, cool, I moved to the beat of my own drum. And I thought a lot of these comedians were like that too. It's kind of like a renegade artist kind of vibe. But a lot of these guys aren't. A lot of these guys are just like pure, I want to say capitalist. Maybe capitalist is the right term. They just want to make money. Like, they just want to be rich, you know, for the sake of being rich. And they also want to buy fancy stuff. So a lot of these guys start off acting as if they just want to, I just want to sell out theaters and be in my fans and stuff. But really, they want to be Hollywood stars, you know? They want to get invited to all the fancy award shows. They want to be on red carpets. They want to date a really hot woman, probably maybe a celebrity, a model or something, you know? But unfortunately, I think those type of things don't help you be funny. That's the unfortunate part. The more comedians you hang out with, the less civilians or normal folk that you're around, and the more you hang out in your own little bubble, it's just impossible to have the beat, to feel, to be in touch with the zeitgeist, to be in touch with current sentiment, feeling around there in the public. It's just hard. And then to kind of relay that in a comedy, it's almost impossible. That's probably why Joe Rogan never be funny. He's just too rich.
Do you think all of the assassins who hang out in the mothership green room at Rogan's club would be there if they weren't getting paid? These are the guys who supposedly turned their backs on Hollywood to do their own thing, only to recreate Hollywood's toxic ecosystem in Austin, where everything's a transaction.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst part for me is how stupid they think we all are. That's always been a gripe of mine, whether it's Rogan calling anyone who criticizes him a mentally ill loser who works at 7-Eleven or Subway, or when Tom Segura went full scorched earth when some of his fans told him that nobody gives a fuck about his luxury watch and supercar.
You know what's funny about that comment, by the way, which is really interesting? I would imagine the majority of fans who've made these guys millionaires, and in Rogan's case, close to a billionaire, are working middle-class, working-class folks. I'd imagine most people that help these guys become millionaires and close to billionaires are middle-class and working-class folk. Why do I say that? Because I noticed when I had a strict 9-to-5 where I had to travel, especially I had to commute. Now my 9-to-5s are a little bit more local, but when I had to commute to work more than half an hour, I noticed, I'm sure you guys are sure the same, I noticed I listened to a lot more podcasts because I had to commute more than half an hour to and from work. I was also working at a desk, so I had my headphones in. So I listened to more podcasts. So I consume it. So I bet you, times that by whatever the fucking population is of people that listen to podcasts, I bet you that's the main reason why these guys became so wealthy so quickly. Because a lot of us work and a lot of us want entertainment to distract us from our work. It's kind of, whatever. And they provided it for us at that time. But then they look down on those very same fans who helped them become, as insanely wealthy as they are right now. Which has always made me laugh because it's like, bro, who do you think listens to you? The people that listen to you aren't these like go-getters. No, not go-getters. They're not these fucking, I don't know who they think they are, but, they're regular people who have to work and they want a distraction, you provide it. The people that are like you aren't listening to you. They're out living their life. They're not listening to you.
Collections. According to these guys, if you don't find everything they say funny, it's all your fault.
And I'm like 20 years into comedy or whatever, and I still read a comment where somebody's like, is this supposed to be funny? And I'll just write, yes.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's why I posted it. I'm a comedian. It's getting laughs in the room. Like,
yeah,
it's supposed to be funny, but I'm like mad at this person.
I think I did for a long time too.
Yeah.
And then it's also so much more pleasant not to engage.
I know.
Like don't get worked up.
Yeah.
You just see it and you just kind of go.
Big up Mech. If they don't watch each other's specials, if they don't watch each other's specials, they have plausible deniability against joke thieving. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't give them that much credit. I just think they're lazy. And I also think it's a lot of arrogance. I just don't watch anyone's things because I'm only focused on my stuff. I'm the most amazing person, I don't think it's to do with the joke thieving thing. I think they're just lazy and they don't watch stuff. I would imagine a lot of them probably don't even watch back their own specials. They just get editors to kind of put it together. They do one run or they record it a couple of times, pick the best fucking recording and then just go with it. They probably don't even go over their material, because if they did, we'd get far better specials, we'd get far better fucking content. I don't think they do. I don't think they have that level of criticism to themselves, They don't really have it. I don't think so.
What's the trick?
I mean, I think it's just like you're getting to a point where once you do stand-up long enough, not everyone's ever going to like you.
Yeah.
Ever.
Sure.
Like, not everyone likes whoever you want. Chris Rock,
right.
Seinfeld.
That's true.
Chappelle, like, there's people who go, like, I hate this person. I hate what they're saying. They're not funny.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, if, like, the top of the food chain gets that, the rest of us have to.
I love that suggestion because it's like, there are some people who don't get the level of hate you get because they're just more likable. I love the cope. Let's go to the extremes. Let's compare ourselves to the top echelon of entertainers. Because they get hate, we get hate too. No. Yes, some of them are going to get hate because they're top echelon people, but sometimes they also get hate because they're assholes. Or they're saying, and Tom's a good example of it, right? That whole pause era he was going for, a lot of people kind of were turned off by him and have now seen him differently. and can't look at him the same. So that will kind of influence the way they kind of ingest whatever content he puts out there, and they're gonna leave comments kind of with that level of fucking ingestion kind of tinged on some of the comments they say. Nothing to do with you being super successful, everything to do with them thinking you're fucking annoying.
To get it too.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going, are those guys engaging with people who
No.
No, of course not. So I just go, I'll post the thing, and if someone doesn't like it, I just go, yeah, cool, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Neil Brennan had that great joke.
Yeah, big up Boronda 420. Wagwan G, hope you're good.
Where he said, if you look at Beethoven's Fifth Symphony or whatever the famous one is.
Big up Shades Cow. I think more people have made money off of Rogan than he has made himself. More people have, yeah, that makes sense, because I guess you're talking about collectively, right? If you add up all the money everyone's made from appearing on Rogan or being associated with Rogan, it probably outstrips whatever he's made himself. Cool, but he still made a lot of money. You know, that guy's made a lot. He's already like half a billy up from Spotify deals alone. He's already half a billy up. If you believe the rumors, that first Spotify deal he got wasn't 200; it was like 3 million allegedly to license it. He didn't even have to give them his IP. They licensed it for a number of years. Then he re-upped again for fucking 200. So he's already half a billy up only from Spotify alone. Just imagine everything he gets from ads and sponsors and tickets and Netflix deals and shit. Like, he's made a lot. He's made a lot himself too. More than he could probably ever spend in a lifetime.
The first comment is gay. And you're like, well, there you go. It's like this beautiful piece of music that's lasted for centuries. And we're like,
this is gay.
Exactly.
Big up Joe from MIA as well. Big up.
So that's all you need to know, folks.
I went and looked up that bit from Neil Brennan. He doesn't actually say the top comment was gay. He said that there was a Beethoven Fifth Symphony video on YouTube with 10,000 dislikes. And his point was that dislikes don't mean much anymore because Beethoven's Fifth is one of the greatest pieces of music in history. It was a bit from a stand-up show. He wasn't actually comparing comedians to Beethoven like Mark just did. The cope from these guys is just next level, and I actually thought Tom had a pretty fair perspective when he was saying that once you reach a big enough critical mass, not everyone's going to like you, so you just have to deal with it. But then, as usual, Tom told us what he's really thinking.
And also, this is the other one. How do you think a person's life is going who spends time going, you suck?
Right.
Do you think it's somebody who has like a lot of shit going on?
Yeah.
And who's doing well?
Good point.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
The funny thing is, wherever Tom goes on the internet, whether it's a video with a watch dealer reviewing his collection, or he's driving a new supercar around London, even just a clip from his comedy specials, there's always a ton of comments basically saying, you suck. I mean, have you guys seen pretty much anything Bert Kreischer posts anywhere, or when Rogan posts anything comedy related on Instagram and Twitter, 90% of the comment sections are just roasting them because they suck. But of course, it's because we're all mentally ill losers with nothing going on in our lives. It couldn't possibly be because ever since Tom got rich and got a gym membership, he became a massive douchebag.
It's interesting that they can never understand that, right? They can never accept that maybe they have turned some of their fans off naturally over a period of time. Happens all the time. It's like a favorite band you've never. It's like your favorite band that no one else has ever heard of, but then they all of a sudden pop and they become super big, and then naturally the fame maybe changes some of the members or maybe changes the music and you don't like them as much. They can't turn around and say, oh, the fans are haters, the fans don't know music. No, they know, they just don't like this modern interpretation. And most bands, from what I've seen and heard of artists, musicians especially, they're very accepting and understanding of it. They're like, cool, like maybe you like that, like I think The Weeknd said something similar, like maybe you might like my House of Balloons era, but now I'm not House of Balloons broke anymore, so I can't make that music. I think he said that in an interview, something along those kind, to paraphrase. I'm not House of Balloons broke, I'm not House of Balloons new or green in the industry, so that music, I can't do it again. I have to do whatever I'm doing now because my life, my experiences, whatever has changed, and that's what's influencing the art that I put out. But if you don't like it, I understand, but that other music exists, so if you like that stuff, just go back and listen to that stuff. But these guys, these comedians will accuse you of being mentally ill, they'll accuse you of being broke, They accuse you of all these other nonsense just to kind of, remove any kind of accountability they may need or have in terms of why you got to that place. Because if you're commenting on these people's videos or if you're going on their socials, I don't know about you, but if you're making the effort to comment negatively on somebody's profile, you're probably a fan. Because I know if I'm not a fan, like these locals, I don't think I've never left a single comment on a DSP video, Wingsofredemption video, Boogie video, but I watch a lot of detractor content about them. But if you do leave comments on these people's pages, it's probably fair to assume that you probably like them deep down. So if somebody's willing to leave you a comment saying, "Oh, you suck now," if you're Tom Segura, maybe you should think that might be a fan that I've turned off. That might be a former fan that has fell out of love with the stuff I was into. I wonder why, instead of just accusing them of being fucking pores.
Speaking of douchebags, Bert, I didn't forget about you, buddy. Once Tom and Mark got onto the topic of how much comedy has changed since they started, it didn't take long for your name to come up.
Yeah, we had when I was starting, thank God, there was no reference for get this clip up and going.
I know.
We didn't have any of that. It was really, I got so in on the club system. And when I had seen, I worked with some people that sold out a weekend.
Yes.
I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. They're getting too distracted.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse because you have the internet. You can just put it all out there. You can expose yourself, get a ton of fans.
I love how that theater thing, I love how the money is such a big motivator for these comedians, isn't it? I saw what they make on a weekend. I was like, hold on, how much? And you're that shit. You're making that much. It's never about entertaining the fans, putting on a good show, comparing your show to legendary, or comparing your comedy to other legendary comedians, trying to construct a set that maybe can be seen as or compared to some of the greatest sets of all time when it comes to stand-up comedy. It's just about, oh shit, I heard this guy did this much on his tour, and I was thinking, oh shit, I want to do that. So then I start, it's never about the fucking material. It's never about the material. It's never about the fans. It's never about the show. It's always about the dollar bill, y'all.
But also, anonymity is a gift. Get good in the shadows first,
Totally.
but they want it too quick. It's sad. It's depressing, but I think it's just the way it is now.
Yeah, that is really crazy. Oh my God, can you imagine how much Bert would have posted?
Oh God, I know. Jeez, that would be scary.
You've toured with him
many times.
I'm assuming you've had long nights with him, right?
Oh my God, so many nights in Europe were wild. We went to a strip club in Copenhagen, I think, called the Waterloo, and he's getting a lap dance FaceTiming Leanne. And you're like, this is crazy. I mean, he came to my bachelor party. That was insane. He'll be like, after party at this bar. And I'm like, we're going somewhere else, right? And he's like, no, we're going there.
That to me was always the mark of lunacy with that guy. Was when he started to really sell tickets, and then I'd see a video and I was like, what's going on in that bar? He's like, oh, at the end of my show, I told everyone, let's go to this bar. I'm like, you told the show to go to the bar.
That's insane.
He does not like hanging out with his fans, isn't it? He fucking hates regular people. I understand what Bert was doing was crazy, but I love the pure disdain and disgust he has in his voice for hanging out with the pores outside of the show, or even communicating with them. Like, what? You want me to hang out with fans?
Insane.
And you're like, go see your children. you have never talked about your daughters this way, Bert.
I just was like, I go, to me, I'm like, everything is just based on being tired. I'm like, aren't you just tired? And he's like, no.
He isn't. That's why he has to tour with younger people.
Yeah.
Because they can keep up with him. It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's going to be sad when he's gone.
How soon? What's your bet?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to spill the tea here, but every time I've been to his house, I can't help but notice the amount of pill bottles next to his bed. It's 38 of those orange pill bottles, and you're like, is all that for your liver? What is that?
Funny he says that because somebody actually posted on the Rogan subreddit the other day. I just saw it. Somebody posted on the Rogan subreddit this. Have you seen this post? There we go. Bert Kreischer needs sober October, right? Bert Kreischer needs soap October, and the comments are fucking delightful. Absolutely delightful. But look at that picture. Look at that fucking picture. Look at how red he looks. Look at how glassy his eyes are. Look at how swollen his entire face is. And it made me realize, right? The human body is very, 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 very durable and resilient, isn't it? Because let's speak candidly. I'm surprised because I now believe that Bert drinks as much as he says and maybe more than he actually likes to admit. For longest period of time, I always thought it was a bit of a gimmick and fake the amount of times he says he drinks just to cut for the bit. But I believe it now. I believe that he's a proper stone cold alcoholic. It's pretty impressive that he's still alive. Let's be fair. Considering how much he drinks, considering his profession, considering where his profession is mostly, you know, done in clubs and bars and stadiums and theaters and shit, places where you can always buy booze. He's always the fucking headliner, so he's always getting stuff for free. Plus he's got his own fucking vodka brand. It's actually a miracle that this guy's still alive, if you think about it. It's actually a miracle, but also goes to show just how much fucking abuse your body, your organs, your everything can take. Because how is he still walking when he drinks as much as he says he drinks, or even more than he says he drinks? Because he doesn't definitely admit some certain things. He's definitely an alcoholic type of guy that hides bottles. You know, he's the type of alcoholic that kind of hides bottles, puts them in service so no one calls him out on the shit. But yeah, this guy does a lot of boozing. That's for sure.
Norm Macdonald's out, but Bert's still cruising.
Bert's journey to an inevitable premature death is going to be one of the most well-documented downfalls in history. Every single person who meets him says,
"Look at that stomach, bro. I'm just too vain. I have too many cool clothes I want to wear. There's no shadow. There's no doubt. There's no way I could get to that level. Look at that belly, bro. Fucking hell. That is insane. Like, absolutely insane." And I think there's something also very like disrespectful to the gift you've been given, right? Meeting fucking Rogan, becoming a comedian, growing up relatively rich. He's been given so many blessings. I think you're almost like disrespecting the blessing. You're pissing on all the work your dad did. You're pissing on the opportunity, the blessing that you got to meet Rogan and stuff, the era that you came up in LA comedy, to get yourself this fat. Like, there's no excuse. When you're rich as Bert is, you could have somebody in your house making you tasty, nutrient-rich, healthy fucking food that you could be eating every day. You could have a person helping you work out half an hour to an hour a day, easily, to maintain some level of like decent shape. There's no really, like, this body shape, this physique is more understandable if you're a regular person. If you're a regular person, a pores, as fucking Tom Segura would say, who's working a deadbeat job and trying to look after your family, maybe a family that you secretly hate, and you just keep clocking in, clocking out, I get it. Sometimes you need to unwind after this fucking hard day at work. You want to knock back a few, do what you want to do. I have all the sympathy for people, the regular jobs and look like this. But if you're a multi-millionaire, if you're doing stand-up comedy and you look like that, that's a shame.
The exact same thing. How is it possible that this guy is still alive? If overextending your welcome was a person, it would be Bert Kreischer.
That's what I said.
And just like Joe Rogan and Tom Segura, Bert figured out early on in his career that if you get everyone you know on your payroll, you'll have friends for life. These guys are like the Italian mafia, where all the made men send a cut of their earnings up the chain, and in return they have their security and welfare guaranteed by the family. You earn your stripes at the mothership, kiss the ring on JRE, then pay your dues on Kill Tony. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you...
Big up Podcast Cringe, that was brilliant. Big up fucking Podcast Cringe, that was brilliant. I do think, I agree with, I forgot who said it in the stream chat, I do actually agree. I do think Mark is a bit of a chameleon. He's a bit of a shapeshifter. He's a bit of a shapeshifter. He's a bit of a people pleaser. I think depending on who he's with or who he's interviewing or who he's sitting down with, he changes his stance and opinions. But when he's on his own show, Cheers with Stories, or doing his own thing, his real true stuff comes out. But I don't think he even believes half the thing he says. He's just saying it because, you know, it's those type of guys that he's talking to. The Burts, the fucking Mark, what you got, Tom Segura's and stuff. So, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. But, yeah, some insane fucking advice from Tom to Mark about ignoring the haters, which I don't think he's probably going to listen to. Good thing to say that. Big up the stream chat. Please like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. That'd be much appreciated. If you like what you see what you like, do those two things. I would appreciate that so much. Anyways, let's do the Fire and the Kid, episode number 1094. Fire and the Kid, episode number 1094. Let's do this watch along.
This is really the Fighter and the Kid.
Texas.
We're back, bud.
We're back, buddy. You got the Texas buzz.
Dude, I got the Texas. Me and the boys shaved our heads. Proper
Yep.
Texas.
Yep.
I was introduced to Texas. I had to send you a text.
Why does he show us his head though? Is he shy? Why is he shy? You're not showing the fucking world your head. Why are you hiding under a hat?
Of the picture.
Oh, well, so yeah.
Of the L tarantula hawk.
Yeah, so Brendan said, what the fuck is this? And I said, that's what you call a female tarantula
Because we
hawk.
couldn't figure it out. So we're all chilling in the living room.
Yeah.
Donnie's outside, and he was like pouncing like this on something. And Joanna goes, Jesus, what is that? I go, oh, it's like a big ass grasshopper. And she goes, but he has like yellow wings and black.
No, he's got orange wings. He's got orange wings.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? And I go out there. The kids are in the pool. And I go, oh,
Well, it's about as big as your thumb.
Oh, dude, it's 3 inches.
Listen.
8 inches.
And here's the thing about them.
Hit him with a shoe. And it, you know, most bugs you hit.
And he went, fuck you.
Oh, he went.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got
today.
Yeah, he's got armor.
Oh, bro.
And by the way, and there she is. And
again, maybe I'm different, maybe I'm weird, but surely if you're moving to another state and you have children, wouldn't you Google stuff like this? Wouldn't you be on forums? Wouldn't you be searching up like newly moving to Austin, Texas soon, have 3 kids, what should I expect? And then random random Reddits will pop up and stuff. Random Ox FM things, random posts, random YouTube videos will pop up, and you would just ingest that information. You'd ingest that content. You take it all in to get an understanding of what you're kind of getting yourself into before you move over there. Or, dare I say, maybe you go over there and you inspect it a little bit. You figure out what's going on so that your family or yourself don't walk in blind. Not with Brendan though. He's discovering everything about Austin, Texas while he's there. Everything he's discovering is brand new information. He's never heard this before ever in his entire life. Crazy dude.
And they kill tarantulas.
Now,
and they eat
males
them.
don't sting.
Correct.
But
The
this was
females-
my thinking. That was clearly a female. This is my thing. And so we took it out, right? I'm like, God, man, he's kind of cool. Wasn't that aggressive? But didn't want him to take out the Don, you know, didn't want him to take out Donnie. And then didn't want him to sting the kids. And he fell.
Oh, he's finally admitting that he loves the dog. Brendan's always acting like he doesn't really like his dog and, you know, being a little bit blasé and whatever with his dog. But I guess he's finally admitting he's loving his dog because he didn't want that tarantula, that fucking fly thing to damage or to eat or to hurt his little doggy. That's nice to see. He's finally admitting he loves his dog. Good to see. Good to see.
Oh, he had like a little nest up in the door.
Yeah,
so he fell down.
She.
Yeah.
Please gender her correctly.
Yeah. So my thinking was once I found out it was tarantula hawk, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I kind of wish I didn't kill it. And I was thinking like, well, wait a second. They eat tarantulas. That means there's also a ton of tarantulas around here.
A ton of tarantulas.
Then I was on a walk with the kiddos. We go on a walk at night. And in the middle of the road, El Tarantula couldn't get out of the way of some car, was ran over, but good sized tarantula.
Oh, well, I found one in my pool. Now, here's the thing. You see them on the road all the time. Now,
For the heat?
Yeah. Now, the tarantula hawk, they're everywhere. I see them everywhere.
Aren't they called the Pepsi wasp too?
They're the Pepsis wasp. And their sting is just as painful as the bullet ant or anything else. They are horrific.
Oh, when I post that picture on my IG.
It's going to turn into fucking Austin, Texas, National Geographic, isn't it? With these two guys. Nothing else interesting to talk about. Let's talk about all the interesting insects and stuff. Let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the traffic. Let's talk about that BBQ again. Oh my God, all these Texas talking points. Nothing else to talk about? Nothing else fresh? Nothing else new and interesting? No interaction with other human beings? No tidbits or anecdotes from fucking neighbors and shit? No? Okay, cool.
Store at my boy Brigham at Ways to Well was like, dude, do not touch that thing.
No.
He's like, that thing will paralyze you for about 5 minutes.
It'll really
He's like, it's not
hurt.
going to kill you, but
Yeah.
you're going to be in such bad pain.
Yeah, and it's a big boy.
But
Those
of
are
course
big
I'm
fucking,
not
look at the size of
touching
that
it.
fucking thing, dude. Look at the size of it.
Jacked.
Okay.
I hit him the first time, little bit of a concussion, but he was not dead.
Yep, no,
it took 3 to 4
Yeah.
good,
and then you had to
solid
punch him and choke him out.
Bro, thing was thick, big old boy.
That's a tarantula hawk.
Then you find out they're not that aggressive. They're kind of cool.
Very sweet.
But then you can't have it around the kids. Like right around the house,
They're
the
not going to
pool.
bother your kids because your kids don't
No,
represent
you can't have
food.
it though, because they step on them. We're fucked, dude. That
Pepsis
thing
Rust,
stings a
not
5-year-old.
generally dangerous to humans, although they are known for having one of the most painful stings in the world. While the sting can be excruciating, it is not lethal, and they are not aggressive toward humans.
Can't have it around the house.
But they kill tarantulas, bro.
I know. It's,
You know what I mean? So where there is
pick your poison.
right, where there is a tarantula hawk, there are no tarantulas.
Also, I just hate feet in general, right? Especially on podcasts. But one of the most annoying thing about people who have their feet out, and I guess you have it naturally even when you're at home, when you're recording a podcast, or when you got your feet out and you're recording a podcast, you're gonna find it pretty hard not to touch your feet. You're gonna find it pretty hard not to fucking fiddle around with your toes, not to touch them in between your fucking toes, pick it and get your skin, and that's what Brian's doing. We're watching a podcast, and you're distracted because he's sitting there cross-legged. By the way, I hate how he sits on the chair. I fucking hate how he sits on the chair. Hates how he sits on his chair in the fucking Buddha pose, cross-legged and shit. Like, just sit normally. Fucking weirdo. But he's probably so small that he can do that comfortably. And then he's sitting there picking away at his feet. Great view, man. And again, you put on a pair of skinny jeans, you put on a t-shirt, but you don't have time to put on shoes.
Tarantulas.
God, what's the chances? What the fuck is that? What is that?
Yeah. And your dog didn't know.
Oh, he was pouncing on him. It was a real grappling.
Oh yeah, your dog would have gotten just
Oh, it would probably kill him, yeah?
no, but it's just
He's
hurt
only
him.
about 15 pounds now.
Yeah, it would hurt him bad. I
Ooh,
wonder though.
ooh,
You
it
wonder
would-
if dogs.
Ooh, it would fuck him up.
Let's see something. Let's see.
Well,
They may not-
are known for their. Yep.
Okay, so it definitely hurts.
Well,
them.
kill a dog. Oh,
Great
it's
video.
unlikely that a
Great
single
podcast.
sting from a tarantula hawk will kill a dog.
But it'll cause significant pain and swelling. Yeah, he'd be howling.
He'd be down for the count.
He'd be howling.
Yeah, he'd be down for the count.
Ugh.
We just don't need those problems. I had to kill him. I had to kill him.
No, of course you did.
Oh yeah, we can't have the kids. We can't have it.
No.
Oh, right. It's where we walk, dude. If he would have just,
I get it,
found a different location, I would have let it ride. I don't like killing animals.
I know.
But you have 5-year-old.
I'd like killing animals. Press X to doubt. Press X to doubt. R.I.P. Tank. R.I.P. Tank and all the other dogs that have come before. R.I.P. Tank and all the other pets that have come before. R.I.P. that entire aquarium of fishes, by the way. R.I.P. that entire fucking fish tank.
Barefoot around the pool.
Cottonmouths. We got cottonmouths. We
Haven't
got
seen snakes
coral
yet.
snakes.
Haven't
we
seen
got
snakies yet.
Rattlers. We got scorpions. We got tarantulas.
I've seen
we
a
got-
bunch of scorpions.
Yeah. Have you? I've seen none.
Oh, really? We had them in our garage.
Really?
Guy came and sprayed. I'm like, I see all these. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You get the nest, dog.
Yeah. All over.
Tarantula hawk made a visit, dude. Little guest appearance.
It is. I'm going to say this too. It is hot. It is.
See, I still don't mind it. I was out all day yesterday.
Fucking hell again, man. Everyone warned them about this, right? Everyone warned them. I think people have said in the comments, I think when's the real hot time in Texas happen? Is it August or something like that? Hasn't happened, right? Yeah, it's not really as hot as it can be. But everyone warned them beforehand. They didn't want to say nothing, didn't want to listen. Now here they are complaining about the heat already. Complaining already about the heat in Texas.
I went to a car show, drove to Monster Jam. I don't mind. I feel good in this heat. I just don't like if I'm indoor and it's hot, or when you first get in your car, it's fucking toasty.
Right. That's
it's toasty.
And if you are in the sun, and by the way, it's June, and we got July, and we got August, and then we got September, and it ain't gonna get any.
Yeah, big up Ryu Ken. Some Papa didn't kill the wasp. He found it already dead. Yeah, I can believe that. Big up Raykin, I can believe that. Big up God's favorite. Crazy how we got episodes years after everyone else moved to Austin. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I wish, but maybe the easiest answer is just the obvious one, isn't it? Maybe they just didn't want to look like they were sucking off Brent Rogan too much. But I wouldn't care at that point. These guys suck off Rogan so much. It's weird that they suddenly developed an insecurity about going to Austin and being seen as followers. You already suck him off already on your pods. Why not get something from it? You know, why not earn something from it? Career rehabilitation. For Brendan, it would have been reintegration back into stand-up. It would have been worth it if they went when everyone else went. Like, it probably would have panned out way different for them. But going literally 5 years after, it's like, what's wrong? Like, what? Why now? Especially both of them. Brian, I get, because he's still trying to do stand-up. That's his, you know, that's one of his revenue streams or whatever. But when you're Brendan, why are you going there? Brian, I get, but when you're Brendan, why? Why move your entire family over there? Like, it doesn't really seem to make much sense, really. But hey, they're there already now.
July and August gonna get toasty.
That's gonna be.
Let's say you have pools though, in AC.
You got pools. You got
What
AC.
do you not want to sweat?
Big up Josie. Austin, August is the hottest month in the year in Austin. Okay, thank you for that. Big up Humdrum. The funny thing is, Austin's slogan since time has been "Keep Austin weird." It's never been a stereotypically Texas. They're acting like they're out there in the cattle country. Exactly. That's a very good time. Big up TJ. I've been living in Texas for 15 years, Austin for free, and I've never seen a tarantula wasp or tarantula. But these clans have seen multiple of both just laying in the streets within a week. Yeah, of course. Of course. They're always very unique and special creatures when it comes to them too. Always very unique and special creatures.
What do you want? What do you want?
I got no problem.
What do you want?
I
Like
got no
cold? What the fuck? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It is hot though.
Big up Jet Tony Jr. Remember when Rogan told Brenda to stay and hold down LA? He did that, so yeah, for sure. But that time he told Brenda to stay and hold down LA, that was pre-cancellation, isn't it? That's pre him doing the whole Annie Lederman stuff, pre-Kalila, pre-Bobby Lee. There's probably a good idea in there. If you're Brendan, there's probably a good idea, but he was never well liked. That's the thing. I think Rogan was oblivious because I think Rogan is so in his own bubble. I generally do think he only realized how much of a douchebag Brendan is when the whole Bobby Lee shit happened. I don't think he believed it before. I don't think he paid much attention to people's murmurs or the sentiment around him. He definitely didn't believe or give much credence to what people on YouTube were saying about Brendan. You know, he always thought like, oh, everyone that hates Brendan is just jealous because he's jacked and he can steal your girl and shit. But I think the Bobby Lee situation opened Rogan's eyes to just how unlikable and unpleasant Brendan
Powerful
is.
bunch.
Yep, big up Assad.
We got a Trankla hog prom you all.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. Big up Assad Aziz. But so I think Brendan could have never been the next Rogan. He could have never hold down LA because he generally wasn't likable. He definitely people put up with him when Tfatk was popping, but he wasn't a likable person as Rogan is. Rogan is generally someone that a lot of people out there love, and appreciate. Brendan's never had that type of appeal to anybody outside of people that he hires, basically.
Yeah.
Working in the garage, I was sweat. It's a good sweat. Losing weight.
You're getting a good
it's
sweat.
Nice.
You're getting a good
Yeah,
sweat.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. You're going to be clammy most of
Oh,
the
dude,
time.
you're like this. I took the kiddos to Monster Jam yesterday at the Moody Center. That's where the Texas Longhorns basketball team plays. So Joanna bought the ticket. She bought park.
How long until we see him wearing Texas Longhorn merch, right? Is that, let's see, Texas Longhorn, is it basketball? Basketball merch. How long until we see him wearing his hats? How long until we see him wearing all of these type of merch, all of this hats? How long? How long do we give it until we see him wearing Texas Longhorn basketball team merch? How long, huh? Do they have a cap? I'm assuming they have a cap, right? I'm assuming they have a cap. Do they have caps? Yep, they have caps. There you go. They have caps. I think he's got the logo already on him, right? He's got the logo tattooed on him somewhere. But yeah, there we go. We got caps and everything. How long until we see that? How long until we see that?
parking, right? And I usually don't take my excursion because it's great, you know, it's like freaking 7.5 feet tall, lifted, it's huge. But it's the family wagon, so we take that down there.
Why would you make your family wagon 7 inches lifted and shit? If that's the only car you have in your fleet, which is strange, brother, he's got this really odd section of cars, but he seems to have only one car that's adequate enough to like drive his family. It's the excursion, but he's also lifted it a crazy amount. Why would you lift the excursion and install this mad turbo, all this sort of nonsense, when it's meant to be like the car you do your school run on, you know? Like, why is that? Why can't it just be a reliable car that's bulletproof and can work most times? Why does it have to be all that crazy shit? You know? Such a weird way to kind of run, you know, drive your family around, but I guess everyone's different.
And she goes, yeah, the guy said big trucks fit in there. It's Texas. And I went to another parking garage and my truck fit. Big truck, you know, because Texas, they're like, yeah, big trucks, big ceiling. I'm like, cool. So I drive.
Really though? Is that true? Really? Every fucking car park in Texas you can fit your big truck in because it's Texas strong and they believe in pickup trucks and everything being big? Or do you have to maybe double check things beforehand or use your eyes?
Drive in there. I'm with my father-in-law. The kids are in the back. And I'm like, man, I hope it.
Say that again? Father-in-law or father-in-law?
I'm like, cool. So I drive in there. I'm with my father-in-law. The kids are in the back. And I'm like, man, I hope it fits. And
father-in-law or law?
So I drive in there. I'm with my father-in-law. The kids are in the back.
So funny how he says father-in-law or law. He says lol, lol, lol. Interesting.
And I'm like, man, I hope it fits. And on the front in red letter says 8.2. I'm like, oh, my car's nowhere near 8.2. I'll fit easily. So I pull and I show him the pass. I go, Monster Jam.
When he says fit, all I think about is that shitty joke he did. No, mijo, it fit, mijo, it fits. That's what I think about. Whenever I hear him say fit, I think instantly of that fucking shitty Gringo Pappy joke.
Right? He goes, yep. He goes, you have a passer? Yep. I go, now, dude, the young guy. I go, dude, this truck's it has to be at least 7.5 feet tall for this truck to fit. He goes, it's 8.2 here, bud. You're good. You're good. It's all we do. Cool.
You're 8.2 here, bud. Remember that. He said you're 8.2 here.
Oh, cool. Driving. We go for the first level, no parking. I'm like, yeah, let's go to the second level. And all of a sudden, the ceiling starts going. And
no, you did.
Shh. I haven't driven. I don't have a car, and I've never parked inside of a parking lot like that. But surely, if you're driving a big car in those type of spaces, surely you're aware that you've got a big car in a small parking lot or whatever, and you drive tentatively, slowly, even on every level you get on, because you want to make sure that your car fits through the gaps and this whatever. You're just aware. So why would Brendan just drive aimlessly without looking at where he's driving and noticing, oh shit, that ceiling looks a little bit lower than the previous floor. Maybe this floor isn't 8 inches. Maybe this is lower. Maybe I should reverse back and just wait for somebody to fucking free a space downstairs or something. Why would you continue to drive? Why would you drive? Why would you just put your foot on the accelerator? Why would you do that? It makes no sense, really, you know? It's like, it's almost like it's your fault. Not the kid that's working downstairs fault. It's your fault because he said it's 8.2 on this floor, which is probably the first. You then went to the second and just wrecked your car. You know, it's like, Why would you do that?
Didn't.
Yep.
No, you didn't. That is
fucked up the whole roof.
There's no worse.
So I get out
sound.
and I go,
there's no worse sound.
Oh, bud. And my kids are all pissed. I get out and go, dude, what the?
My kids are all pissed, as in they're like what? Part owners of the car. Are they on the insurance too? My kids are all pissed. What does that even mean?
Fuck yes. Only the first level's 8.2.
Dude, how about letting me know?
He goes, I forgot to tell you. I go,
You see how he's incapable of accepting any kind of responsibility? Most likely this story did happen. I don't believe he's lying about the whole thing. But this interaction didn't go the way he says it's gone. I don't believe it. That the guy's like, oh yeah, don't worry, man. It was my fault. I'm the one that fucked. It's like, what? If that person says that and they're on camera or whatever, you can use that against them in the fucking court and essentially, win probably quite a lot of money for that. So why would they say that sort of thing? But yeah, he's a strange individual. Very, very, very strange individual. It's just you know, for better or worse. But hey, what can you do? What can you do?
I'm so upset. Young kid though, so I go, all good. So I'm gonna go to my truck, and he goes, "Your truck?" Or I go, "It's not. It's fucked up. Just had it done. I'm so upset, but I don't want to ruin the day for my kiddo. Where can I park?"
Why is he acting like he's this like crazy unhinged guy that if one thing goes wrong, everyone suffers, and he starts kicking around stuff at his house, slamming doors, beating up? Like, you're not that guy, man. You don't have that temperament. Yes, you might be a little bit upset, but he doesn't have that temperament. So I don't know why he's acting like, oh yeah, I just didn't want to fly off the handle. Fly off the handle and do what? Do what? Volume punch him? Come on.
Dude, I got to get out of here. It's going to scrape it getting out. He goes, just stay on the first floor. So I go down there, and the only spot that's open is handicap. And he goes, dude, that's on me. You can park there. Say less. Park.
Surely, once you drove in and you didn't see any spots open, if you're on talking terms with a fucking, you know, La Liga person, why didn't you, or Serie A, why didn't you have a word? That makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no fucking sense.
There. I'm so blood red mad, but I don't want to affect the kids. They love Monster Jam, whatever. We go do the Monster Jam.
Like, you could have easily pulled up and said, "Hold, there's no spaces here. My truck is really big. Can I park in a disabled spot?" If he's already on talking terms with the guy downstairs at the fucking gate thing, you know, like surely.
Same shit over. If you've ever been in the circus, Monster Jam's the same shit over and over. I've seen it 10 times. Yep. Son loves it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Walking
You're
out.
just stewing.
Oh,
you're.
Exactly. Big up, TJ. Good point. The parking attendant causes you damage to your truck, no problem. But an umpire throws out on a baseball game, and you confront and threaten him. Exactly. Pick and choose, you motherfucker.
Dude.
Oh, buddy.
That sounds.
If someone took a picture. I watched Monster Jam. I watched Monster Jam like this the whole time. And Tiger goes, "Dad, you still upset about your truck?" I go, No, it's just a car, buddy. Just material thing.
Just a car.
Oh, it's not a big
It's just
deal.
a car that I had
and Tiger
worked on.
goes, "It does suck though. You just got to do it. It does."
I love how he interprets or talks for his son, and he doesn't talk to him that way at all. I love how he has this whole different thing in his head about how his son sounds and shit. It's just funny.
Oh God.
It does. And so whatever, they could tell I was upset. Walking back. I'm like, whatever, we'll figure this out. Walking back. Huge ticket on my car.
Of course.
And I go,
Oh, huge.
whoa.
And huge. Yeah.
$200. I go, whoa. I tell you, I go back up to the young kid I'm dealing with. I go, bud, it's one thing that you fucked up my truck. It's another when you tell me to park somewhere now with $200 tickets. And he goes, well, that ain't right. I go, who you?
All people, no matter how much money you should have, you should always fucking watch your P's and Q's and definitely make sure you're not getting fleeced. But I find it somewhat interesting that Brendan is complaining about a £200 ticket, $200 ticket. I think a Brendan of the past would have purposely parked in a disabled space because it was the nearest one available and he didn't want to maybe cross the street or something, willingly take the fucking fine or ticket and keep it moving. But the disposable income isn't what it used to be. You can tell. Disposable income isn't what it used to be because there's a time where he would do that, but not right now. Not right now.
You tell him. He goes, that ain't right. He goes, unfortunately, man, I'm just the guy at the front. You got to deal with my manager. I said, well, which one's your manager? He goes, she's in the office there. What fucked up the truck, whatever. It's kind of on me, even though they told me it was cleared. I shouldn't.
It's kind of on me. No, it's definitely on you. The kid said 8-2. You should have been wary of what the other floor was going to have in store for you. That's what I would have done. Because imagine you can't fucking reverse. You know what I mean? Imagine it's only one way out and in. Like, come on. This fucking guy. Honestly.
Shouldn't have even parked in there, but I'm not going to
It's actually not on you.
I know, but I don't want to deal with it, whatever.
Of course Brian will say that, by the way. Of course the resident fucking cuck, the resident fucking cockholster for Brendan, Brian Cullen, it's actually not you. I had a dream about you. You're so perfect. It's not you. It's like, come on, man. Grow a fucking spine.
I'll take accountability.
But it says,
but the ticket.
No, you won't count that. You just take it. Saying you'll take accountability and actually doing it are two different, very different fucking, whatever, pictures and shit. Crazy guy.
Ticket I can't have. So I go up, I go, ma'am, I'm very nice. Ma'am, this is what happened. I go through the whole story. I go, and they give me a $200 ticket. And I thought she's like an older lady. I thought she was going to be nasty. She goes, "You're not having a very good day, are you?" I went,
Was she a fan? Was she a fan? Let's find out. Was she a fan?
I went, "It's been tough." She
I love
goes,
Texans.
She goes, "Give me that ticket." She goes, "I'll make sure you don't see any of this." She goes, "Now you're gonna have to hold them accountable for your truck." I go, I've.
You're watching too many movies, isn't it? You've been watching too many movies, or you've been watching Bosch or something. I don't know, man. This is just a funny guy. Just a really funny guy.
Jobs and stuff. I'll get the stealing fix. She goes, "No, you won't. No, you won't. That's on them. I'm gonna have you fill a claim right here. This whole facility, they're responsible for that."
There was no parking attendant. He crushed his car because he's dumb. Then parked in the handicap out of frustration. Got a ticket. Went home. That's it.
Exactly. Basically, nothing else happened. Exactly.
They are.
She goes,
it says hey too.
She goes, "They're gonna take care of it." She goes, "They told you to go in?" I go, "Oh yeah, it's on video there." I went, "Homeboy, come here." I go, "Did your staff tell me to go in?" He goes, "It's on me, man. I wasn't paying attention. I forgot to tell you the first floor."
Good people though.
Good people.
These are good people.
And he goes, "We'll make it right, man."
Texans.
And she goes, "We'll make it right. Fill out a claim on it." All right.
You know what? That goes a long way.
Oh, I'm used to LA.
No, for LA.
Oh, buddy.
New York, LA. What?
LA, but get that. LA be like, "No, we told you." I'm like, "But
no, they wouldn't even do that. They go, what are you gonna do?"
No, they wouldn't. "We told you not to go in there." Yeah, nothing. I couldn't.
I get the feeling Brian doesn't believe this story. Look at his face. There's a bit here when his face settles. Look at his face.
What are you gonna do?
No, they wouldn't. We told.
That's the face of somebody that doesn't believe his mate. That's the face of somebody who does not believe what his mate is saying. I don't think Brian believes the story. I don't think he buys it. He smells the bullshit. He fucking smells the bullshit, but he has to play along because Brendan cuts his check. Brendan allows him to pay alimony. Brendan allows him to fucking have 2 families on the go. Brendan allows him to do a bunch of things. So I think Callan knows. I think Callan knows this story is complete bullshit and gobbledygook, but he's not saying anything, but his face is telling everything. He knows this story is bullshit. He knows.
Told you not to go in there. Yeah, nothing. I couldn't. I was just gonna walk away. I'm like, "Yeah, I fucked up. It's on me." But they're like, "No.
We're so used to that.
We're gonna make it right."
We're so used to that.
I know. I didn't.
We're gonna make this right. You're one of Rogan's friends, right? You're that white boy that you're the white boy that fucking that kicks ass and whatever, right? What's that saying go, right? You're that white boy that works too much, right? You're that badass that you're the badass that kicks ass and is funny, right? We're big fans of Gringo Pappy. Big fans.
Because I don't want to deal with
Texas culture.
I don't want to deal with it.
It's Texas.
No, we're gonna make it right, son.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it right.
We'll make it right.
Make it right.
Yep.
Ooh, my day was tough.
Wow.
My day was tough.
Oh no, that is. I'm not even a car guy. When I hit the bottom part of my fucking car.
Oh yeah.
Or it's like oh Jesus, you know.
Dude, that's a cherry 2003 Ford Excursion. I just got done.
Now,
and when I say buddy, it's like someone.
Well, you got scalped.
Oh, it was like 2 fucking hawks took their claws and just went.
Hawks. 2 hawks. Maybe it's an accent thing. Hawks.
It was like 2 fucking hawks took their claws.
2 hawks. What's a hawks? Isn't it a hawk?
And just went.
Just giant hawks.
Is this new?
You mind if the Game of Thrones dragon just drags his claws across the? Wow.
2 saber-toothed tigers.
Big up the Maz 197. I'm seeing 2 hacks. Boom.
Teeth.
So you got that. So you got nice big.
Jesus, he's definitely a redact, isn't it? No one else does that. That's not a little bit redacted, isn't it?
Teeth.
So you got that. So you got.
Look at that face, bro. Jesus, that needs to be a fucking new emoji. Need to add that to the list of emojis. So become a member today, and you could have access to that emoji later on. next stream you could have access to that emoji. Jesus Christ.
You got nice big.
Oh, what?
So we need a new paint job minimum.
Oh yeah. Oh, but then the top left side where the where the trunk comes down.
Sure.
The sign, it went, hold on. We can't just give you scratches.
Gotta hit that too.
Tink, tink.
Yeah.
And I have OCD, so when there's a scratch, it drives me nuts. Now, when
you have OCD, or your car got scratched and you want to fix it? It's not OCD if you fucking crash your car, it's fucked up looking and you want to fix it. You just want to fix your car because you crashed it. That's not OCD. I have OCD, so I fixed my car that was involved in the crash. Okay. I fixed my car that I crashed because I have OCD. I couldn't just let it look like that. OCD made me do it.
When there's a million,
it actually drives me nuts.
That's all I can focus on.
I go nuts if my car has a dent or something. I gotta get.
I'm embarrassed. Aren't you embarrassed?
It actually drives me nuts. We know what they're talking about when it says nuts, isn't it?
So on my steering wheel, the outer layers
that's all you can
peeled
focus
off.
on.
I'm like, I got to take this in immediately, and I'm not even a car guy. Yeah, right.
Let's take a little break.
You play.
Oh, I've got to take this in immediately. What a fucking doofus. What a fucking doofus. Anyways, we're going to pause it for there. We're going to pause it 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 there. The likelihood of that story being true is very low. Most likely, as fucking Assad, as he's pointing out and others have pointed out, most likely Brendan didn't pay attention, drove into that parking lot, didn't read the signs, was driving super fast. He's definitely one of those douches that drives super fast in those fucking parking lots, and then by the time he got to the second floor, it's too late, and he fucking totally scratched the entire roof of his car, driving in and also probably reversing back out. I don't even believe there was a fucking attendant there that told him where to park and said this and said that, and then I don't even believe all that shit. I believe he did it all by himself. He's a fucking idiot, but he's too thin-skinned. He got too much of an ego and pride to ever admit that he did anything. To be even self-deprecating, because if he admits that he did it himself, it makes for a funnier story, but it also paints him out to be maybe a bad driver, to have, not have the best, sense of perception or space and shit, and just be, generally not really attentive. But it would make for a funner story if he actually admitted, no, I'm the one that fucked it up. I misread the sign. I didn't see the sign. I was too busy fucking texting, whatever you're doing. He's never going to admit that. So he'd rather get on here and create this fictional tale about the entire parking lot employees rallying around him because they're the ones that fucked up. Admitting, basically, on record that they fucked up and Brendan was in the right. Okay, cool. Sure that happened, brother. Sure that happened. Anyways, my friends, thank you for tuning in right now. I'm going to love you and leave you there. I know it's a bit of a short one, but I'm going to come back again tomorrow in the morning. I'll be back again tomorrow in the morning to finish up all the topics I haven't finished up on. Tomorrow's episode will be available to watch for all of you to watch, obviously. But it'll be definitely, that one I'll make members only. So tomorrow's, you can watch it, you can take part, but to replay it, you'll only have to be a member. So make sure you become a member if you want that. But I'll see you guys again tomorrow during the day. So when I wake up after I go gym and shit, I'll see you guys then. Maybe around 12 o'clock, maybe my time. Hopefully around then I'll be streaming. So if you're around, check me out. We'll do that again and we'll finish this episode. We'll also finish, there's another episode that Brendan did as well, where he's on some podcast talking about cars and shit. We'll talk about that one too, and if you have bits and bobs, all right? But appreciate everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Smash the like button, hit subscribe before you leave, please, if you don't mind. Hit subscribe, like the channel, all that good shit. Help me out. That'll be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow I'll see you. I'll see you guys again tomorrow during the day. Thank you for chilling out. See you guys again tomorrow. See you guys again tomorrow. Day 9, we're out. Day 9, we're out.